We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing the staircase effect to the upside, trying to hold support. And in today's volatility, our SPY bot at 8:10 a.m. sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 170% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, fighting to hold support above the 470 area, testing key resistance levels. And in today's video, we're going to break down some key levels I would watch going into next week and what's going on with the inflow versus outflow and bull and bear indicators. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run today was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run today was from our AMD bot. Our AMD bot at 9:30 a.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside, pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 110% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump to these charts. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition from white with red borders to bright green bars in yesterday's after hours and today's pre-market and opening bell. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, under a bear indicator in today's volatility for the first time since the bull indicator that popped up at the 470 area. A bear indicator has popped up at 474, and in today's volatility, it also reached bright green bars and has come back down to red bars here so far on the 30-minute. Now, if we go ahead and zoom out here, we could see it found support at the 468 area, brought itself back up towards 470, broke through it, and broke through the key resistance levels we were watching, which was 472, 473, and then above that comes 475, briefly touched above it 3 times there and rejected once again, right? There's a huge rejection up here at the 475 area. Not the first time it rejects here, and it also rejected down here at 473, and it is below both of them here, but fighting in the after hours to stay above it at the 473.13 area to be exact. Now, this resistance up here of 475 is definitely something to not ignore, and we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into next week. Now, when we zoom out, and look at this from the 1 hour, we could see in a bigger picture that a full transition has happened from the dip area to the rip area on 42 vision, while we're Fred borders to bright green, and a bull indicator popped up at the 470.78 area. I would just round that up to 471, and it has been dominating over the chart and creating that staircase effect so far within the volatility of the bigger picture. But no bear indicator just yet on this pullback, and I'm going to be watching that very carefully here going into next week and how it reacts, because a bear indicator has popped up on the 30-minute. Will that roll over into the bigger picture? Now, when we zoom in and look at this from the 15-minute, within the volatility, we could see a bull indicator since yesterday at 470.96, brought itself all the way up to 475, and then here we are with a bear indicator at the 474.40 level, dropped sharply down towards 471, and here it is fighting to stay above 473, but it's dominated right now in the volatility of the 15-minute with a bear indicator. Definitely something I would not ignore, and I'm going to be watching, could this bear indicator continue to dominate and retest key support levels going into next week. Now, when we take a look at the inflow versus outflow here on the SPY stock, the SP 500 index, on the 30-minute, the inflows were dominating in the first half, and into the second half, outflows started to dominate across the midpoint here, and in the second half into the after hours, the inflows are trying to pick back up, but outflows are still dominating until it crosses that midpoint. It won't start to reflect any further strength into these charts, and that's going to be crucial and critical here for the bulls. Now, when we zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, we could go ahead and see here how inflows are still dominating. Even though they're red, they're sitting at 1.68, and that is why things have not completely collapsed to the downside, right? These outflows have not crossed, but I'm going to be watching this very carefully as it's gotten closer to the midpoint, and it's currently red. Going into next week, will it cross that midpoint? Because if it does, it could quickly start to reflect that weakness into the charts. Now, when we go ahead and zoom into the volatility of the 15-minute, we could see in the 15-minute chart how inflows dominated in the first half, and they crossed over in the middle of the day with outflows dominating here in the second half. But same thing, inflows are trying to pick back up and head towards the midpoint here. Currently negative still, but definitely something to not ignore. If this crosses, it could quickly start to reflect that strength into these charts. Now, what are the key levels I would watch? Well, the first thing is support, guys. If these outflows drop back down, pull away from the midpoint, the first support is 471.50. If that gets broken through, then I'll be watching the 470 area. And if those outflows even dominate on the 30-minute as well, the next support I'll be watching is the 468 area. Now, to the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows to pick up, cross that midpoint, reflect that strength into these charts, and bring up the 30-minute with it, switching it from red to green as it already has, but continue pushing up, try to cross that midpoint, and the first resistance is the 475 area. Then above that is 477, and then I'll be watching the 480 level. These are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial, and the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them. I'm going to watch them very carefully as they're getting close here on the 15-minute, and they're trying to come back up on the 30-minute as well. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.